Hello everyone, welcome back to English class. Dear students, today we are going to do a topic from grammar, that is verbs. I think you know very well about verbs. Obviously, you are studying in 7th and 8th standard, and it is important that you know about the verb. In previous classes, you have read about verb. So have a look on this some pictures, and in these pictures some kind of activities are going on, like here is someone is sleeping, here bird is flying, here they are playing, and they are he is writing. So whenever we are doing something and we are using a particular word to say something about our actions, then it becomes verb. So action words are verb. So I think you have just recalled all the things. Good. Now let's read the meaning of verb. What does it mean? A verb tells about an action being done. Very simple. Okay. Or you can say a verb is a word which says something about a subject, like what a subject does, what is done to, or what it is. Dear students, whenever we are using the verb, it completely defines the action which is done by subject. Okay, so which says something about a subject, like a person, what it is and what it is done to. Okay, let's see an example. Here are some words, which words are, yes, we use for showing the actions, like play. We can't use the word like play. How we can use? He is playing, he plays well, they are playing. So it depends on the subject, right? So speak, run, cry, go, come, take, make, eat, many more verbs are here. And I know very well that in your mind you have stored many verbs, and now you came to know about and you have recalled all the things about verb, right? I think there is no need to explain the meaning in detail, because everybody knows what is verb. These these words are verbs, and basically action words which define action of a subject, what the subject is doing is verb. Now there are different types of type. See, in today lecture we are going to read about three types of verbs, or you can say कि categorization of verbs on the basis of three different usage. Okay, then the first one is on the basis of requirement of object. There are two types of verbs. If I talk about the requirement of object, then this verb can be divided into two parts, transitive and intransitive. Means if there is requirement of using object in the sentence or not. Okay, so we can divide the verbs into two parts, that is transitive or intransitive. Let's see what is transitive verb. Dear students, you know very well what is the meaning of transfer. Transfer means to shift, okay, or from passing one thing to the another, or from one place to another, that is transfer. And the this word transitive is very similar to transfer. Okay, so you can relate this word from with the transfer, and you can easily get the meaning of transitive verb. I am going to read out the definition for you. Okay, so listen carefully. It is a type of verb which requires object to make the sense clear. Okay, so in a sentence, for making the complete sentence, or for making the sense clear, it requires an object. Or in other words, you can say a transitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which passes over from the doer or subject to an object. Okay, see, obviously what is subject doing, we use verb for the basis of subject, but if for the completion verb requires an object, okay, or you can say if the verb passes over the action from subject to object, okay, then it is transitive verb. Transferring verbs, transitive verbs. Just have an example. With the help of some examples we will come to know. For example, first one is here, he took lunch. See, if you will say he took, then the question arises what? Okay, then the answer would be lunch. That's so the he took is not a complete sentence. He took requires an object to make the complete sense. So he took lunch. Here took is transitive verb. Next is he made a chair. He made. What? A chair. So he made a chair. A chair is object and made is transitive verb. Next is Sachin likes cricket. Sachin likes what? Yes, cricket. Next, Abdul saw a snake. Abdul saw what? A snake. So dear student, remember one thing, whenever after verb a question arises what? Okay, then the the verb is transitive verb. Next, Rahul bought a new car. Bought what? A new car. Okay, without these objects, you can't complete the sentences. Okay, for all these sentences, an object is required. So, all these verbs are transitive verb. I hope you have understood this topic. Then it is intransitive. This intransitive verb is completely opposite of transitive verb. Transitive, intransitive. Okay, so transitive verb requires an object, but it is a type of verb which doesn't require any object to make complete sense. Okay, so intransitive verb doesn't require an object. For example, in other words, you can say an intransitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which doesn't pass over to an object, or it expresses a state of being, means the verb is completed in itself. Okay, like in the last slide we have seen some examples. He took a chair, suppose. He took what? A chair. So in this sentence an object is required, but the baby is crying. Crying is the verb. Is there any requirement of object? No. Okay, so the sentence is completed in itself, then it is intransitive verb. Let's see some examples. Ram is sleeping. Ram is sleeping. Sleeping is a verb here, but which verb? Yes, intransitive, because it doesn't require any object. They are swimming. Next, birds are flying. The birds are flying. The dog barks. The dog barks and the baby was crying. So you look at the sentences carefully and you will come to know there's all these sentences. There is no need of what? Object. See, the birds are flying. The birds, what is the birds? Subject. Are flying is verb. But if we talk about the flying, after this sentence, is the question arises what? No, there is no need of the question what, because these sentences are completed. So these verbs are intransitive verbs. Okay, I hope you all have cleared these things. Here are some verbs which are completely transitive every time in every sentence. See, a verb can be used as transitive or intransitive way. Suppose the birds fly. Simple, no need of object. Ram fly kite in the sky. Ram flies kite in the sky. So here flies intransitive. Transitive. In first sentence, transitive. So there is no need to go in deep. Just look at the examples. Some verbs are here which every time requires, yes, which every time require object, that is transitive. And here is a list of intransitive verbs. Cry, die, live, live, run. It doesn't these verbs never require any kind of object, but these verbs require. So there is these verbs are completely transitive and intransitive, but there are many verbs which can be used as transitive or intransitive. And for the clearance of this thing, you should understand about the difference between transitive and intransitive. Okay, so if we talk about the type 2, in which basis we can divide our verb, that is on the basis of the structural role. Okay, structural role, okay, means how we are using in the sentence. Main verb, auxiliary verb, causative verb. Auxiliary verb can be further divided into primary and modal. Dear students, from the beginning of the education, you have been learning about the sentences, you have been learning about the verbs. Okay, but you know, detailed description or detailed distribution of verbs is very important. Okay, you know the sentence, the baby was sleeping. Okay, if we talk about the object, then on that basis the sleep, this is the intransitive verb. But if we talk about on the basis of the structural role, then the baby was sleeping, was will be auxiliary verb. Okay, and the sleeping is main verb. Okay, the same verb can be transitive or intransitive, the same verb can be main verb or auxiliary verb or causative. See, a causative verbs, this is a three type, and dear students, listen carefully, the students of 7th class will do only two verbs, that is main verb and auxiliary verbs, but the students of 8th class, okay, will also learn about causative verb. Good. Okay, now see the meaning. The main verb, it expresses the action itself without taking help from any other verb. Okay, itself means it says something about the action. Every verb is main verb, which has 2-3 types, which can be changed according to circumstances. All the verbs which express actions are the main verbs. Which is the verb? The main verb. Very simple. Here are some example. He knows me. Here the word knows, main verb. Okay, he danced beautifully, so danced is main verb. Okay, so there is no need to be confusion. See, main verbs, always the action words are the main verbs. If you come to know about the auxiliary verbs, what is the primary and model, then you will be clear with this point. If we talk about auxiliary verbs, it helps the main verb to express time, mood and other activities. It is of two types, primary, model. With the help of auxiliary verbs, we can come to know about the time, yes, mood, other activities. So primary is, am, are, was, were, has, have, etc. Everybody knows about these verbs, obviously. Okay, so if we are talking about the singular, then we use is. If we're talking about I, then we use am. So if we are talking about the plural, then we use are. He is sleeping, they are sleeping, I am sleeping. Sleeping, sleeping, sleeping will remain same in every sentence. Then sleeping is a main verb. But because of the subject, because of the time, all because of the mood or other activities, we are changing the primary verb, is, am, are. Okay, modal verbs can mean might, shall, should, etc. Yes, so these verbs have their own meaning. Okay, we will read them in detail later, but first of all you come to know, there is requirement to know about the difference between main verb and auxiliary verbs and the primary and the modal, because in this chapter you have to categorize the verbs into different parts. Okay, next is causative verb. See, the verb causative is like cause, reason. Okay, so please listen carefully, what does it mean. It includes get, make, etc. that causes the action to take place. Means one verb is using to explain the work of another verb. Many times you have seen in your phone, you are using the phone, you have seen like it's getting downloaded. Have you seen these kind of words, phrases and sentences? It's getting downloaded. Yes, it's getting downloaded. Getting is the causative verb for the work downloaded. Okay, let's see more definition about it. The causatives are the verbs that is used to indicate that one person causes another person to do something for the first person. One can cause somebody to do something for him by asking, paying, requesting or forcing the person. Most of the time we are using in the same sentence two verbs. Okay, and because of the one verb, another action is happening, and that becomes causative verbs. And in that causative verbs, the basic some verbs are get, make, have, has, had. Have, has, had, three forms of has, and get and make. Okay, so in with the many more are there, but for your convenience I am talking about the three verbs only, that is get, make and has. So with the help of these verbs we are making causative verbs in the sentence. Let's see examples for more clearance of this topic. He always has me do his work. See, he always has me do his work. Now you can find that in this sentence two verbs are here, that is has and that is do. So which verb is causative? Has. Okay, because it makes him to do his work, right? Next one, he always gets me to do his work. Same sentence can be used, can be said with the help of gets. So gets is causative verb. These are the main verb. Okay, and next, he always makes me do his work. You can say he always forced me, or he always take help from me for doing his work. Okay, but in the simple way you are using the form like he always makes me do his work. So here has, gets, makes, they all verbs are causative. Because of these cause, this work is happening. Understand? It's getting downloaded, it's getting converted, it's getting uploaded. Okay, so here getting word is, yes, causative. Dear students, has less effect, gets some more, but makes is very forceful subject. Okay, you made me laugh many times. You made me laugh. So made is causative, laugh is, yes. Which one? Good, main verb. Now, next type, on the basis of usage in sentences. We have read about two types earlier. Now we are learning about the third type, and the third type is finite verb and non-finite verb. Okay, now let's see what are these verbs saying. A verb form which changes with change in tense is called a finite verb. Dear students, in a sentence, if someone will tell you that please divide the verb into finite and non-finite verb, then the finite verb is verb which change, which is changeable. Okay, for example, he welcomed me. They went to the mall today. So what is finite verb here? Welcomed. Because it is showing about the past. But if we talk about the future, he will welcome me. So with the help of will, we are changing the verb welcome. We are using the different forms of welcome. Yes or no? Yes. If on the basis of tenses, if we are talking about like see, if in the basis of tenses we are changing the verbs, you know very well that if we are using simple present, then we are using the verbs first form. Sun rises in the east, sun is rising, sun rose. So here we are using the different forms of rise verbs on the basis of the tenses. So the verbs are changing with the change in tenses, then these verbs are finite verbs. Okay, they went to the mall, they go to the mall, they will go to the mall. They had gone to the mall. Means we are using go, went, gone, had, gone, etc. for us in a single sentence. We are using the different forms of verb. So verbs are changing on the basis of the tenses. So the changeable verbs are finite verbs. Clear? Changeable verbs are finite verbs. Now, the outfielder leaped for the baseball. The outfielder leaped for the baseball. The outfielder will leap for the baseball. Okay. Now see the non-finite verb. What does it tell? A verb form which doesn't change with change in tense is called a non-finite verb. Means there is no effect of tenses. See, in the previous type, we are saying that these are changing on the basis of tenses. Like if we are talking about the past, we are using he welcomed me. But if we are talking about the future, then the sentence would be he will welcome me. Okay. But if we talk about the non-finite verbs, then these verbs are not changing on the basis of the tenses. Non-finite, non-changing. And see the examples. See, swimming is a good exercise. Here the verb is swimming. Is it a verb? No. It is not a verb. Verb is swim. We are using ing swimming as the noun here. Gerund. Remember? Yes, my dear students, when we are using verbs as gerund, then there is no need of changing. Here we are using swimming is a verb, but we are using as a noun. So here is is the present. So if we talk about the swimming, then it will remain unchanged for present, past and future. They were swimming in the pool. Swimming will remain same. They will come for swimming. It will remain same. Okay, swimming is a good exercise. Yes, so swimming, if we are using the different form of verbs as noun, as adjective, then it is non-finite verb. Let's see some more example. I had gone to the store. I had gone to the store. Now what is the difference? See, she was feeling unwell. Past tense finite, but she has been feeling unwell. Past participle not finite. Okay, she was feeling unwell. Here it is finite verb, but when we are using she has been feeling unwell, then it is non-finite. Similarly, I went to the store, past tense finite, but we are using I had gone to the store. Here gone, okay, it is non-finite. Okay, so I think I had made clear myself and you all have understood about the different types of verb. Dear student, these differences and these types are very important, because on this basis only you will be able to solve the worksheets. Thank you so much.